Good morning. Welcome to our present lecture. That is again, it is based on motion in plane. And in motion in plane, we have seen something like two-dimensional motion, relative motion in two dimensions, and also the most important thing which we have discussed so far is the projectile motion. In last lecture, we discussed the path of projectile. Okay. In the extension of the same topic, let us study some physical quantity related to that physical process, that is projectile process or projectile motion. What are those things? They are time of flight, maximum height, and horizontal range. These three things are there. There are three different physical quantities, and they are mostly asked in the derivation questions, like that: find an expression for time of flight, find an expression for maximum height or range, etc. And that could be known only once you know that the path of projectile is parabolic, that we have already studied, and we will just take that parabolic part to all these derivations. Okay, let us study first time of flight. Now, as similar to previous case, here we can just observe this is an ordinary parabolic path, that is path of a projectile. In fact, it is the trajectory of it, and the point of projection is point O. Clear? And the maximum point beyond which it could not move further in vertical direction is point A, and this is your point B. Okay, and we are discussing time of flight. As the name implies, the time in which the projectile remains in space. What is the time of flight? That is the time, is the total time or net time between the point of projection to the point on the same horizontal plane where it reaches. Okay, that is, it is projected from this point O and it moves on this path and finally it reaches the point B. Therefore, time of flight is the net time between the point of projection to another point on the plane of horizontal, on the same horizontal plane from where the point was projected, projectile was projected. That is, it is the time between the point of projection to the point where it reaches on the same plane of projection. Clear? This is what we have, time of flight. Now we can see, we can very observe that this is the maximum time, maximum point A. Okay. What is the maximum velocity? What is the vertical velocity at A? The vertical velocity at the point A equal to 0. Okay, and then if we consider the time taken by the projectile to reach the point A is t. If the time taken by the projectile to reach the maximum point A from point of projection O is T. Okay, then at A, V equal to U plus AT, as usual, is the equation of motion, and velocity is, vertical velocity is 0. Initial vertical velocity is how much? V sin theta. I have not explained this again here. We can see that this we have already explained in our previous lecture, that initial velocity, if it is V and point and angular projection is theta, then we can resolve it into two components. One is V cos theta, other is V sin theta. ठीक है, तो V sin theta इसका इनिशियल वर्टिकल वेलोसिटी है, तो यहाँ पर U का जगह V sin theta हो जाएगा, V sin theta, और ऊपर की तरफ G माइनस में होता है, then we can write minus GT. Therefore, T comes out to be V sin theta upon G. Remember, this is the time between O and A. This is the time between O and A. Okay. Now we have to determine the total time from O to B. You can very easily observe that the curve is a parabolic and it is symmetric about the point A. Since the curve or the path of projectile is symmetric about the point A, therefore whatever is time taken between O and A will be same as the time taken between A and B. Clear? That means if this time is T, then this time will also be T. Therefore the net time, that is the time between the point of projection, O and the point B equal to T plus T, that is 2T. Therefore total time equal to time of flight, that is 2T, 2 into V sin theta upon G, or we write TF equal to 2V sin theta upon G. Remember, this we call as time of flight. This is an expression for time of flight. Okay, we have seen what is time of flight. It is the net time between the initial point. It is the net time between the initial point or the point of projection to the point B, where it reaches the plane of projection. Okay, well, this is what we have, the general thing about time of flight. Next is your maximum height. Next, we are discussing the maximum height. I am not redrawing the diagram, I am just continuing the same diagram, but I have removed some of the things which is not relevant over here. But one thing I have seen, that initially it was projected from this point O, and at the highest point there is no vertical velocity because it becomes totally horizontal. The projectile moves horizontally and finally it reaches with the same velocity V at the point B. Okay, the target point, you can say the point of projection is the target point on the same plane. Okay, now we need to find this height h. This height h is called the maximum height. If anyone asks, if anyone asks you what is maximum height, then I would just say the maximum height is the highest distance traveled vertically above the horizontal plane of projection. I am just repeating. If anyone asks you what is maximum height, it is the maximum distance traveled vertically above the horizontal plane of projection. Okay, this is horizontal plane of projection and this is the height, maximum vertical distance. Okay, again at A is the highest point. A is the highest point therefore the vertical velocity at A equal to 0. But initial vertical velocity, you know, it is v sin theta. Okay. Now, from equations of motion, we have v square equal to u square plus 2as. Clear? Okay. Now, in this vertical velocity, final velocity is 0. Initial velocity was v sin theta and square, because u square is there, and g is negative because it is moving ultimately vertically upward, minus 2g, and this height is h. Therefore, we have h equal to v square sin square theta upon 2g. This is another expression. This is called the expression for maximum height. Clear? Initially we have seen the expression for time of flight. Now we are discussing it is the expression for maximum height. It is the maximum vertical distance above the horizontal plane of projection. Clear? Good. Now next we have the horizontal range. Okay. Well, if anyone asks you what is range, what to mean by the term range, what to mean by the term horizontal range, I must tell you one thing, that it is the maximum horizontal distance that is traveled by projectile in one time of flight. Okay, the net horizontal distance attained by or traveled by a projectile in our time of flight is called horizontal range. That means from point O to point B point. If we find the distance between the point of projection to the final point or the target point, then this horizontal distance is your R. Remember, here we don't need any vertical displacement, any vertical motion. Here we have not to discuss, because earlier we have discussed that this is part of two separate independent motions. One is vertical motion, other is horizontal motion. First two derivations were made by vertical motions. Now this derivation is made by horizontal motion alone. But time must be taken the same time what we have already taken in first derivation. जो पहले derivation में जो time लिया था, उसी time को हमको यहाँ पर भी लेना है. क्यों? क्योंकि हमको यहाँ से यहाँ तक का जो distance है, ये distance count करना है. तो ये horizontal distance है. This is horizontal distance, and there we need horizontal velocity and the time of flight. Therefore, R equal to horizontal velocity into time of flight. आप जानते हैं कि एक मोशन में horizontal velocity हमेशा constant, because there is no acceleration along x-axis, along horizontal plane. Therefore, we can write this as v cos theta into time of flight. We have already discussed 2v sin theta upon g. I will just take v together, v square, and within bracket 2 sin theta cos theta upon g. And what is this? 2 sin theta cos theta. It is your sin 2 theta. The next step is r equal to v square sin 2 theta upon g. Okay. Now this is your equation number 3. This is your equation number 3. In both the cases we have seen, that is whether we are discussing horizontal distance, that is r, or we take the maximum height, that is h. Both depend on sin theta. That means they depend on theta. Okay. That means if we increase the theta, then r and h has to be has to increase. Okay. Now let us see that how exactly that takes place. This is theta equal to 15 degree, theta equal to 30 degree, theta equal to 45 degree, theta equal to 60 degree, and this theta equal to 75 degree. Okay. Now you can just observe that in case of h, we write v square sin square theta upon 2g. In case of r, we write v square sin 2 theta upon g. Clear? That means here we see that in case of height, maximum height, as theta increases, h increases. You can see maximum angle is 75 over here. The height is maximum. Clear? And then it is 60 degree. Then height is then it is 45. Height is here. Then 30 degree. Then 15 degree. Like this. The height is accordingly. The height is directly connected to sin square theta. Okay, that means they are directly proportional. But in case of range, what we observe that initially at 15 the range was less. At 30 degree range is increased. Range is increased because if we take 30, then sin 30 means it is sin 60. It becomes sin 60. If we take sin theta as 15. Then here sin 2 theta will be sin 30. Okay. If we take sin 45, then we take it equal to sin 90. If we take sin 60, then we take it sin 120. Okay. If we take sin 75, it makes a sin 150. Remember, the maximum value of sin is always 1. That means sin 90 has the maximum value in the science, in the trigonometric table. That means whenever we write our maximum corresponds to v square upon g only, because then sin 2 theta is 1. That means sin 2 theta equal to 1 equal to sin 90 and theta equal to 45 degree. From this we have seen the angle, if it is 45 degree, then the range is maximum. Range is maximum. And if we even increase the angle, then also range decreases. Okay, but height does not increase or height does not decrease. Height increases continuously with the increase of theta. This is the basic difference between height and this. Okay, and before we keep on doing all such things, you must know that in the ground also, if we kick the football, if it is exactly at 45 degrees, then it takes the maximum range. Okay, let us just have a small experiment by which it can be demonstrated that how we exactly get the path of projectile, how it is parabolic practically, and how could we decide that this may be the maximum range and this could not be the maximum range, etc. Okay, let us see the experiment. Let us take this experiment. Here we can see that I have taken one cap. It is filled with water. It is totally up to the rim of this plate or cap. It is filled with water. Okay, I am having one this electric motor. This is in fact a DC motor, tape recorder motor, what we call, and here is a battery. Their connectivity like this. Okay, and one coin is fixed with this, with the shaft of this. Okay, and I am just switching on. You can just observe that how it exactly moves. Can you see some projectile type of droplet that comes out, and the range becomes that side. Okay. I am just observing that this is the circular object, and when it is in the it is on the water surface like this, it will have a rotation either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, suppose it is moving in this direction like this. Okay, I am taking, say it is anti-clockwise. When it moves anti-clockwise, then the tangential part of the velocity of water droplet will be here, and that will take the trajectory in the projection in the projectile form, and we can see that how droplets comes at different points, and we can also measure their distances. From the point of projection to these very points, and there we observe that up to this point the water droplet falls. That means whenever water was moving, there were different kind of motion like this. Okay, different kind of motion. They were all curved. One is like this, other is like this, third one is like this, and exactly at 45 the range was maximum. The range was maximum, and we can calculate roughly that how that distance can be measured by means of this tape. We can measure that distance. We know the maximum. In that way, once maximum distance is counted, we can find out the velocity v, and from that v we can calculate the RPM of, that is rotation per minute of this particular electric motor. Okay, how it functions, you can just observe that it has two lines, two different wire, and when we add, it starts. Okay, and again switch it off. Once I switch on, it moves. And for your information, I just show it again. Okay, now this is what about the thing we have discussed. Okay, let us move to the numerical part. Okay, before we solve numerical, I just explain the water experiment what we have just observed. Suppose this is the container filled with water. This is water, and our coin was like this. Okay, this is electric motor, and which was in fact moving by a battery. Now when this water rotates, if this coin rotates, coin rotates, then what will happen? This water is vibrated, and due to vibration, some droplets with various angle, they are in fact projected from this, and we have seen that some could reach to maximum height and other could reach to a nominal height, nominal distance, and even at maximum height also, but it could not reach to the maximum horizontal range. That means once this coin rotates on the water surface, water droplets, you have seen that water droplets, some droplets found here also, but it could be only due to the disturbance created over here. Some droplets fall in that direction, but if the direction of motion is here, then the water molecules will definitely move in opposite direction. If it is anti-clockwise, then water molecules connected to it will move like this. Okay, and here by means of inch step, we have calculated the maximum range from the point of projection, approximate of course, and with that, if we calculate that, there we can write theta equal to 45 and R maximum equal to V square upon G, and by calculating this, and if G is considered 918, we can calculate V square. From where we can calculate V? V means velocity. Okay, and velocity is always equal to 2 pi nr. 2 pi nr. N is the rotation per second or per minute what we count. This velocity is meter per second, and this R is the radius of that coin. The radius of this coin. This coin has some diameter and its half is radius, and if we know this radius and we know the maximum range, by this formula we can find out this velocity V and then rotation per minute of this particular electric motor. This is a very interesting experiment by which we not only see the parabolic path of water droplets, but also we see this. Remember, while doing this experiment, we have not to dip coin into water, but we have to just let it touch the water surface. Okay, only by touching, you have seen sometimes a disturbance was created because it was not exactly touching, but rather it dipped into it. And when it dipped into it, then water droplets comes out from other direction also. We are not to do this, because in order to restrict ourselves to this, it has to move like this only. Okay, let us solve some numerical. Say numerical number 1 is a body is projected with initial velocity 20 meter per second. Its angular projection from horizontal is 30 degree. Okay, and g is 10 meter per second square. Is the general given data. We have to find out the range, the time of flight, and maximum height h. Okay, let us find all such point one by one. First is the range. R equal to v square sine 2 theta upon g. Clear? Now v square is 400, 20 into 20 is 400, sine 60 upon g is 10, that is 40, root, this is root 3 by 2, this become 20 root 3, 20 root 3 meter, or 20 into 1.73, how much we get? 34.6 meter. This is what we have, the first part. Okay, let us find the time of flight. Time of flight is 2v sine theta upon g. Okay, now 2 into 20 sine theta sine 30 upon g is 10, is 10 cancel out, 40, 4 into 1 by 2, that is 2 seconds. That is time of flight. You can just check the calculation. V2v sine theta upon g, 2 into 20. Yes, sine 30 is half. This one. Okay, let us find third one. The maximum height h equal to v square sine square theta upon g. Clear? Okay, now how we do? V square is 20 into 20 sine square theta sine square 30 upon g is 10, that is 20 into 20 into sine square 30 means 1 by 4 upon 10, 1 0 cancel out, 4 cancel out, 10 meter. It comes out to be 10 meter. This is the general idea about the first type of the simplest kind of numerical. Okay, but every time such numericals never comes. Sometimes we have some tricky numerical also. Let me solve such type of numerical also. There may be some conceptual question also. How that conceptual question could be, I am not solving that, but just letting you know. Suppose there is a hunter and he observed one monkey exactly at the top of a branch, top of a tree, or at a branch of a tree, and he just take the gun and pointing towards him. Okay, and with the barrel of the gun, bullet is ejected, and it will take some time. It will definitely have some velocity, but by the firing sound, that monkey may have some excitement, or may have some fear. He jumps down. What happens? Suppose he takes the gun like this, and there is the position of monkey. He initially thought that it is aiming toward the monkey, but bullet has not fired. But once bullet is fired, it will no longer move to this way, but rather after moving certain height, it moves like this. That means if this is the position of monkey and this is the position where it takes the maximum height. If monkey does not fall, if monkey does not drop down, then he will keep himself safe from the bullet. But if monkey by due to fear or whatever it is, he falls down, and if this time of falling monkey and the time of reaching the bullet here at point A is same, then monkey will definitely be hit by the bullet. This may be one of the conceptual questions that could be given in the notes. You can just observe and see. Okay. Take another type of numerical 2. Suppose we take, this is the tower. If something is projected with some horizontal velocity 20 meter per second from certain height h. Here I have not projected it from the ground itself, but rather the point of projection is at some height h above the ground. Then what will happen? It will have the similar equations? No. All such general equations will not be applicable here, but definitely the path of the bullet will be projectile motion. Here also it is parabolic and projectile motion. If we want to know what is the exact distance like this, x, we can find out. Here it is given, this h is 100 meter. H is 100 meter, and this x horizontal range x is r. G is given 10. For convenience, I am taking G 10 meter per second square. It may be, if it is not given, then you can take only 9.8 meter per second square. Suppose velocity is this much and height is 100, and initially it is horizontal velocity. It will not continue horizontally, but rather it will fall in that way. Okay. We have to find out this range x. Therefore, first we find out the time. The time of fall equal to t, and we know h equal to half gt square. Why? Because initial vertical velocity was 0, and therefore ut plus half gt square be used. This is your 100 half, g is 10 t square. Okay, that means this 10 cancel out. T square comes out to be 20. T comes out to be how much? 2 root 5. It comes out to be 2 root 5. It is a net time taken by the bullet or the projectile to reach the ground. Okay. Now we find x. X equal to horizontal velocity into time. Horizontal velocity is your 20. 2 root 5. 40 root 5 meter will be our horizontal distance. This is another type of projectile motion. Okay, but there is no angle, but it is just given that it is in fact thrown horizontally. It is thrown horizontally. Okay. Now, in another example, again something from the height. If it is thrown vertically, if it is thrown at some angle from horizontal, it is thrown upward with some angle 30, angle theta equal say 30 degree. and velocity again is 30 meter per second. It is not 20 but 30 meter per second, and it is said it will take to reach this way. And suppose we know the total time equal to say 10 seconds. Total time is 10 seconds and g equal to 10 meter per second square. Then you have to find out this vertical distance and also this horizontal range. Both the things you have to find out. Okay, this is again from the top of the tower, something is thrown up like this. Okay, it is not thrown upward directly but thrown up in the upward direction at some angle with horizontal like this. Here we can resolve velocity into two components. It is v sin theta and this is your v cos theta. This is v. Clear? Well, to find out h, simple h is equal to ut plus half gt square. Since main motion is downward motion, therefore g is considered to be positive. And in that way, what we can write, this velocity is considered to be negative because this is vertically upward with respect to this motion, and therefore this height h will be equal to u is minus v sin theta t plus half gt square. I am explaining this portion again. You know, when something is thrown upward, then g is your negative. When something is dropped downward or is throwing downward, then its g is positive. Okay, since it is ultimately moving downward, therefore we may consider that the average g is mostly downward and it is positive. You have the formula h is equal to ut plus half gt square. The g is considered to be positive. If g is considered to be positive, and another thing is that, and h is here, h is taken this way, this direction is s. Okay, and we are considering g sin theta in negative form. Okay, if we take g sin theta positive, remember, if we take g sin theta positive, then we take h negative and this g will also be negative. I am repeating again what I say. If we take v sin theta positive, ऊपर वाले को अगर मैं पॉजिटिव लेता हूँ तो उससे ये डिस्टेंस हाइट क्या है, नीचे की ओर है, तो उसको हमें नेगेटिव लेना चाहिए. उस समय माइनस एच लेते हैं. उस समय उसी केस में ये और ये नीचे की ओर है तो इसको भी माइनस लेते हैं. लेकिन ऐसे कंफ्यूजन बढ़ता है, वो हम नहीं करते. हम लोग सिंपली क्या ले रहे हैं, ये डिस्टेंस मैं यहीं से काउंट कर रहा हूँ, ये डिस्टेंस में काउंट कर रहा हूँ, तो जमीन ये मान काउंट, इसको जमीन नहीं मान रहा, जमीन इसको काउंट कर रहा हूँ. तो जमीन से ऊपर है तो इसका हाइट पॉजिटिव है. ठीक है. दूसरी बात क्या है, यहाँ से इसको फेंका जाता है तो हाइट को तो पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव में लेना. वी हैव टू काउंट जी और यू. यू इज पॉजिटिव, यू इज कंसिडर्ड पॉजिटिव एंड जी इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी negative. Okay, now let us take v is your 30 minus 30 sin 30 sin 30, g is 10 plus half, g is 10 again, t square is 100. Okay, now this 30 minus 30 into half into 10 plus half into 1000. It will cut 15, 150 minus 150 and plus 500. Plus 500. That means it is 350 meters. It is very, very tall building, or maybe from the top of a mountain, in fact, because it is very high. 350 meters is very quite high. Okay. from where it was actually thrown, so that we can get this h. How we get x? X can be determined by using the formula u cos theta, the horizontal velocity, u cos theta into t, and u cos theta is your 30 cos 30 times 10, 30 root 3 by 2 into 10, it is 15, 150 root 3, 150 root 3, this much of meter. This is the horizontal range of that projectile which was thrown at some angle this. In that way you have seen various types of numericals, and there are a large number of examples in the book in NCERT and others. You can just go through them, and if you have any problem, you are most welcome to ask me in WhatsApp number, or even you can call me on phone. Okay? With that, this is the completion of projectile motion, and next time we will discuss circular motion. Okay? Thank you.